they'll say, yeah. Hey, cosasverdes, are you selling your crypto today? Hell no, I'm not selling my crypto today. Hey, this is a video on BEPRO end of bull run targets mixed with quicker, more immediate price action, POLK Polkamarkets, and PDEX. All right, so that's what we're going to cover in today's video. And for folks who are new to this channel, within my Patreon community, which has links in the bottom section, the whole idea behind what I do for my community is essentially I take the assumption that when it's time to take your crypto profits from your small alts, change your life with them, life-changing wealth because things fly, more volatile assets. When it's time to sell, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be hard, and even if you have the perfect game plan and price at the end, you made the exact guess, as it gets close, it's going to be emotional, it's going to be heart-wrenching, and it's going to be hard to click sell. It's going to be hard. It's like a boxing ring. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be emotional. You might get an opponent you're not expecting, i.e., or otherwise known as your plan might not happen, right? Something else might happen. You got to be adjust. So what I do is, in terms of the boxing analogy, my community, I just punch you in the face, I give you punches, and I teach you how to dodge. So I'm like your boxing trainer. It's learning by doing, mostly from daily scenarios as opposed to courses and all that stuff. That's what the community is about. If that sounds good to you and you want to get punched in the face, go ahead and check the links out. Let's dive into BEPRO. So first, BEPRO analysis, long-term end of bull run. So the acronym, not end of year. So I want to be very specific. End of year is bull crap. I know a lot of people in other countries, they're focused on that because, oh, like my taxes. Okay, well, do you want to miss out on like 1,000% gains? Because most of the parabolic move is going to happen after the end of the year. Don't be focused on that crap, right? Anyway, so this is not end of year. This is end of bull run targets. And it's a question mark because I have May as a guess. So this blue line's May. This is end of year. So this is end of year. This is end of bull run. Oop. Bull run, right? Totally different. And this is my guess. I don't freaking know if the bull run's going to end there. It's just a whimsical guess. Like a little bit longer than 4 years sounds good to me, right? And we'll have to adjust, like being in a boxing ring, right? So since we don't know when the end of the bull run's going to be, like, you need to be practicing. You need to know how price moves. And if you're just sitting back as a buyer and prayer saying, I'm going to sell Trias $500, well, you're going to get punched in the face. You're going to get knocked out and you're not going to do well if you don't understand how price behaves and how your clicking with your mouse should behave as price behaves, right? So anyway, end of bull run. All right, so we have a speed limit here. Now, the way I knew on March 16th, on my video that I made for BEPRO, where I was the only person on earth calling the exact top on the exact day of BEPRO, I think that's an accurate statement, by the way. I'm not just saying, oh, I'm amazing. Some of my calls really have sucked, particularly during the Wyckoff distribution pattern when it fell. I screwed that up royally. Like, it was my biggest mistake. I didn't see it coming. I assumed mass market psychology was still in play, and it indeed was not. Therefore, my trading style, I did not think like a whale at the time, didn't know I had a reason to, but now I do, right? So I've definitely changed my trading, and I've learned a lot from them. And within the community, we've learned a lot too. Honestly, if you look at my recent Bitcoin video, that is cashing in on thinking like a whale. So that's actually proof. And if you haven't watched that video, my most recent Bitcoin video where it says get rich 2021 or whatever, it's not just clickbait. Like, you should watch it. It's proof that I learned like monumentally how to think like a whale in the event mass market psychology did not play out. So you always have to have a few things like, okay, is this going to be mass market psychology or not? Especially with Bitcoin. With BEPRO, it's going to be purely mass market psychology because institutions aren't playing whale games with this. Like, it's too small of an asset. It's not going to happen, right? So anyway, that's why I love altcoins, because it's mass market psychology and my calls are like way better because it's never whale games. But I learned a lot from that Wyckoff pattern when I got my ass kicked. So anyway, so I don't want to just sit here and think, oh, I'm the only person on earth who can't. Well, that's true, but I'm saying it because it's true, but I'm not saying it to say, oh, you should join my stuff because my calls are perfect. Hell no, they're not. All right, some of them suck. I mean, it's just what happens. But the point is, it's about how much you make when you're right. Okay, and how to limit your losses when you're wrong, right? But in that case, I didn't limit my losses very well either because I truly didn't expect it. All right, so anyway, so I'm not perfect. So anyway, I was the only person on earth who called that top because here's the point, though. Here's why I'm saying this. It had a speed limit. So what I did for the speed limit was I need to go to a smaller time frame. the speed limit was, I guessed this before all this happened. None of this was here, right? So I made a line before this was here, and it hit it exactly. It actually went past by a little bit. But what I did was I took the all-time high at that time, right? The previous all-time high, and I connected it with all this massive support just before that all-time high. Now watch. Support, all-time high. Voila! It might have been actually more like that. There you go. Booyah! All right, so, but a line in itself doesn't mean a whole lot. So there's more to it, but that's one of two elements of how it worked. I made a guess, and now the second part is I mathematically checked, does this guess make sense that this would be some form of massive local top where I should sell? And in that video, I made it on March 16th, the day of the top. I said, not like at minute 36 minutes and 20 seconds. If you want to go to that video, it's got a fire. It's one of my only fancy thumbnails where I'm holding a fireball. If you want to go to that, check it out. Like it's proof, like it's sealed in time forever, right? Until the earth is consumed by the sun or when YouTube fails or whatever. And we'll probably be dead way before even YouTube fails. But anyway, in that, I even said, okay, at 36 minutes, 20 seconds roughly, now's a great time to sell. Or selling right now is a winning strategy or whatever, and it could go, within 15 seconds of saying that, I said it could slam down to a penny. That's the third most likely scenario, right? Now watch. The math behind how I was so confident is that if I extend the line and look in the future, what price would it be by the end of the year? And if it's going to be at $2.33, okay, so pull up CoinMarketCap now. I'll bring it over on the screen here in a second. Hold on. Okay, so you pull it up on CoinMarketCap and you look at the circulating supply of let's just call it 6.8 billion. Okay, 6.8 billion. And you do end of year, it's $2.4, $2.40 cents. Okay, so the market cap is the circulating supply times the price. That's what it is. It's a simple math formula. So let's do 6.76. What did I say? $2.3. So that would be a $15.5 billion market cap. And I was like, you know what? Statistically and mathematically, for a project that is 20 million cap right now to go to 15 billion, yes, it's possible. Yes, it's possible, but it's super unlikely. And so actually there are 3 steps. So that's the second step. Okay, so just end of year, it's super improbable. But if you extend it even farther out, just a year or two, watch. Let's go to 2023. Right there, connect those lines. Okay, BEPRO would be at $400. And the circulating supply will be higher. It'll be closer to like 8 billion or 8 billion. So if you do 8 billion, since I put it 8, then the result will be in the billions now, right? What did I say? $40 or 400? Yeah, $400. Okay, $400. Okay. That would be a 3.2 trillion market cap. So that shows you, ding, 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 this line is impossible. It's not going to be the third size of all the money in gold by a year and a half out. Not possible. So it's the impossible line. Mathematically doesn't make sense. It starts getting fishy around the new year. Like, man, $15 billion market cap by the end of the year. It's only 20 million now. That's fishy. So you extend it farther, just a year and a half, like 2023. And it's the third size of gold. It would be bigger. It would be, so if it were on the New York Stock Exchange and publicly traded, it would be like the 4th largest company in the world or 5th or something to that. Like it would be in the top 10 companies in the world just in a year and a half from that point. I was like, so that's the impossible line. That's how I drew that. Now, same idea here. Okay. But just check this out. Like it gets really cool. Watch. So this is end of bull run, and you can actually do end of year possibilities, but I just don't know if the parabolic move is going to happen by the end of the year. So anyway, So you have the same setup. So support and a local top, right? So you have support and actually, no. You have support and a local top. Boom. Boom. This is your new speed limit. So, I mean, just look at this area here. Here, let's zoom in, watch. Look how similar this area here looks to this area here. Look at the similarities. Actually, let's take a fractal. Like, so I'm connecting similar ideas, right? Like, and to a local top. You can see that it looks almost identical, right? I mean, okay. So I'm doing the same thing again, but okay, let's check the math behind it. Let's check the math. So if it hits the speed limit sign at the end of the year, okay, that would be 11.4 cents, right? And multiplied by the circulating supply of 6.7 it's just 6.7 billion coins in circulation, okay, times the price of 11.1 cents or whatever, could you be at the market cap of 743 million? So this would be 743 million. So it's 0.74 of a billion. So that means 700. So could it be at 750 million by end of year? Well, I mean, if it's at 88 million now, in just a month and a half, can it be almost to a billion? I mean, it's extremely unlikely. So by end of year, it's getting fishy again already, right? Okay. But if you extend this out again, let's go to the 2-day chart, extend it out again, and you go to 2024, that would be BEPRO at $13,000. And by that time, there would probably be, how many coins in CIRC? Let's say 9 billion in CIRC times, what did I say, $1,400, right? Okay, so that would be, 12 trillion. That would be bigger than gold. So is BEPRO going to be bigger and more valuable as a market cap than gold just in 2 years? No. So it gets fishy in the middle, but you extrapolate. Like in Calculus 1 class, a lot of you haven't taken Calculus or whatever. Like, I'm not saying that, but there's a like infinite series is infinite series is a type of math. It's like one of the first things you learn in calculus. It's where you take an idea and you spread it out, like you stretch it to infinity, and infinity not as a number but as a concept. Anyway, so you stretch it out and then you realize, shit, this is also an impossible line. But until you stretch it, right, you can only tell it's maybe a little fishy. But until you stretch it, you realize, oh crap, this is an impossible line. All right, so it's fishy in the middle, impossible by just a year or two out. So crap. And it's following similar structure. I'm connected to similar stuff. So this is my bet on the speed limit of BEPRO. I don't think BEPRO will pass it much more than a wick, just like this one was passed on a wick. The question is, when will it pass by a wick? I don't freaking know. I don't think it'll be in a year. So the speed limit line at the end of the year, I mean, actually, it could race up to it, like, honestly, because this big bold gray line you see here, it's the most important origin line because it connects the beginning of price to roughly all-time highs. So it's possible that, like, if there's bullish news, which there is for BEPRO, it might freaking race straight up there it could. I mean, it might hit 12.5 cents by the end of the year. But that would be the speed limit. And if it went above, okay, it could hit 16, 17 cents by the end of the year. It'll recorrect, be very volatile. Maybe not like all this. This was a double correction. This was the natural correction, then the Wyckoff Bitcoin correction. So I don't expect that. But it's possible if it hits this and then comes down a little bit, and then Bitcoin again gets another correction after BEPRO is already correcting, it could come all the way back down to 3 cents. Massive opportunity. Like, you would have so much more BEPRO if you did a 30 bag here, sold 30% of your asset, waited for it to like be, make a higher low on the 4 hour or the day or on the daily, most likely. You would have like that 30% that you sold. I mean, you would have way more BEPRO just by having sold 30%. Way more. That's why if you like Cardano, if you like OMI, you sell OMI, you sell Cardano, you sell some of it, not your whole bags, 20 bag theory during a bull run, right? So anyway, And I mathematically I just proved to you, like it's factual. Assuming your guesses are good, and here it sure as hell looks like my guess is good. My guess actually might be too high, but that would be the speed limit for end of year. What's EOT? Damn, you have the acronym EOT. It's so confusing. I don't know what's happening over here. All right, the end of year. Bam. Okay, now in the bull run. Okay, I'm guessing whimsically May. Why May? Like what's the secret sauce for dudes and dudettes? Actually, 6% of my viewers now are female. It's badass. I want to get it to double digits. All right, so everybody share this video with even if it's your mom. I need more female viewers. I don't like a 95-5 ratio is just kind of uncomfortable for me. Anyway, so let's get some more ladies in crypto. Anyway, so in a bull run, it's just a freaking whimsical guess. I don't freaking know when the end of bull run is. I just know as it approaches this line, it's going to be a good time to sell. Now, will it be the perfect time to sell? Maybe not, because things like Luna have taken an origin line and it rode it, hit it again, then corrected. So, I mean, what BEPRO could do, like if it does race up there, it could go wick up to 16, come down, wick up again, and it actually hits 27 cents before it goes. So the first time it hits it might not be the actual perfect time to sell. It might not be, because crypto does have the habit of hitting a speed limit line twice and 3 times. Here, it was just so fucking aggressive that I knew it was the first one. I sold 80% of my BEPRO. And I staked my other 2 million. And I just left it in staking until it ended just a little while ago. And I still have that. I haven't touched it. I haven't even tried 20 bagging because I just took it out of staking, right? So, and that was a hell of a sell. Like, that was perfect, right? It literally was perfect. I think I sold most of it at like 3.8 or between. I have proof of trade. Actually, you can see where I sold it. I think I was selling between 3.1 and 4.1, something to that effect. I have proof of trade. So go to the link. It's a Google Docs. Just pull it up and you can literally see where I sold my MTV. You can see where I sold my BEPRO. So you know I'm not full of shit. And so you know that I'm not, as a YouTuber, dumping on you. I sold the line I told you all to sell on, literally. Right? I have proof of trade down there, so I can't be labeled pump and dumper about the stuff I'm doing here. And my Patreon community, they already know. Like, I show them my trades and I show them how much I hold of coins and stuff. So, like, I have hundreds and hundreds of people who already know I'm not doing that crap. Anyway, so in the bull run, if it hit this, so let's spread this out. So in the bull run, right, you know, if it like just goes like this, doesn't even hit it yet, and then gets that parabolic move, that would be $1.20 by May. If the bull run goes longer, which the bull run could go to August, since 2 important lines are crossing here, you have an origin line with the speed limit line, right? That gets you to your 367. That's almost exactly 367. So if the bull run goes to August, I mean, 367 is in play. Is it probable? Okay, so I got a lot of shit last time I made a 367, and then it went down like under a penny. It is in play mathematically as possible. It is not the most probable scenario. I honestly think this bold line, this origin line where price began and got the all-time high, I think this line is a reasonable price target for end of bull run in May, with May as a guess, right? With May as a guess, and just look at this. This is so unaggressive. Look at this. Look at this. By May, is this aggressive price action? Just imagine this is how price moves. This is boring ass price action, and it can walk its ass up the stairs. Oh, wait. Nope, wrong one. Wait. There you go. It can walk its ass up the stairs casually, even though that was really fast. Like, that's somebody sprinting upstairs. Like, I'd be out of breath doing that crap. Anyway, walking its butt up the stairs, right? Instead of fireworks, which was what, this one? Yeah. Instead of no fireworks, that's 30 cents. So my low end, for these mathematical and structural reasons, my mathematical and structural analysis of end of bull run at my low end, with only one assumption, that the bull run ends in May. It's just a guess. I don't know. With that assumption, my low end is 30 cents. However, in parabolic moves, things have the habit of wicking significantly past real quick to the next origin line, and that would be just under $1. No. That'd be about 74 cents. Sorry, about 75 cents. So my end of bull run, with only one assumption, May, is my end of bull run prediction for BEPRO, with May as an assumption, is 30 cents to to 75 cents. However, let's say things haven't gotten heated up and Bitcoin's still consolidating around May, right? It already had a pop earlier and came back, going in waves, but nothing crazy yet. I will have moved this out. Let's say it will be August. Move it out to August, do the same thing. My new range would be 38 cents to $1. Like hitting $1 exactly, right? With the upper limit being 367, pretty much the speed limit line, if it really went insane. That would be like the insane. So my most probable price targets, even like a later bull run, it still says the 367 is the least likely by a long shot because it's way past this master origin line. Like I really think this master origin line could get the top, but with the idea it will wick past and touch the next origin line before correcting, right? With that assumption, that's just like, honestly, it's how crypto moves. So I think 367 in August, even if things went to August, of the bull run 2022, 367 is like by far, like it might be the fourth or fifth most probable, right? Like this origin line, the dotted one, is more probable than 367. August would be $2, right? So I think 367 is like the fifth or sixth most likely scenario. And I think but it depends on the month. So I might just move this over and just use the same ascending lines. So my speed limit line, my origin lines to correct this, because my loose assumption on May is almost definitely going to change. Like if I hit May as a guess, I mean, I'm not even going to be proud of it because it's not even a good guess. I just literally picked a month. It's a little longer than a 4-year cycle. Okay, let's get this, right? Honestly, if I had to guess, I think August would be if I had to think about this, and I have since I started guessing May, I think late August would be the top, because maybe early September be the top, because the quarter closing September 30th. And I think a lot of companies will sell off in anticipation to reporting, business gains and all that stuff. So it would be beneficial for businesses to have a lower gains and really sell off their Bitcoin and show, hey, the Bitcoin I have left is way down here, way lower than its top. So I would actually guess September. Actually, so let's then move the damn line to September. Let's get it. All right. Well, fuck. Okay. Well, good idea. Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Juan. All right. So let's say middle September. Actually, you know what? I think that's a better guess. I'll leave it here. All right. So my reserve guess is this bold line, right? Okay. And that would be 45 cents. And then this upper line, a wick past that, which is what I'm really guessing, my top guess, would be $1.27. So honestly, my new and improved end of bull run guesses. Do I have a sound for that? Like punch you in the face kung fu? Tim, put September on there. All right. So my new and improved guess would be 48 cents to $1.40. September, end of bull run. So there you go. Everybody wanting to know. Oh, wait, let me move my dumbass. There we go, $1.40. So that's how I get to my guess. It's not just picking a stupid ass number. And I'm not saying 367 is a stupid ass number. It actually aligns with what's in here almost exactly. So it might have been a stupid ass guess, just like my May into bull run is a stupid ass guess, but it's honestly not it might be the fifth most probable, and sometimes the fifth most probable does play out. It really freaking does. It does. Now, it's not the most probable by far, but yeah, so that's what we got. So let's, so current price action. Okay. So these tags should be here. So if you wanted to skip to, multivac and all, you don't hold BPRO. Hopefully you already know I use tags. All right. So that's the end of bull run mentality. Now, and if you were here, if you're viewing this like in 2022 because you want to know how high BPRO goes, the rest of this video is pretty much for Octobertillions, right? So the two pronouns in my community are cryptillions and crypto crackheads. Like future tillions from 2022 or December 2021. Like this is now just for presentillions, right? People in the present of October 25th. You're probably done with this video. Go watch my current videos on YouTube, right? All right. Anyway, so I think, I've been saying, I think the most probable thing, since Bitcoin's been hyper volatile, I think it's going to remain hyper volatile. There might honestly not be, similar to how I've been saying with Trias, there might not be a good time to 20 bag more than once before the end of year. And so if that's true and it stays volatile, that means it's going to hit an origin line and wick past it. So it could be the same damn origin line. Honestly, I think it's going to be attracted to it. So what does that mean? End of year, boom, 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 boom. 12, that might be the first opportunity. I really think it's going to fly past this, folks. Like, I think it's most probable. However, it could bounce and hit origin lines, boom, boom, boom. So you have 2 opportunities, 20 bag. I think it might just march its ass up the stairs. Oh, wait, that's fireworks. I think it just might march its butt up the stairs, just nice and slow without many pullbacks of like more than 15%. And honestly, why risk for a 15% gain on 20% of your portfolio, right? Which is 15% divided by 5, which means on a 15% correction, if you sold the exact top and bought the exact bottom, you have 3% more BPRO. Probably it's not worth the risk selling. So I think that might be the case. And so, but look, the speed limit line passes the most important origin line exactly at the end of the year. So 12 cents might be the first time you can 20 back. I think it's going to remain volatile. And unlike Trias, for example, even though it's not a Trias video, if you follow my Trias videos, I've been saying what it has done in consolidation on the weekly 10 EMA is very special. Like, it's honestly, it's the best consolidation out there. There are some that look pretty similar. Hydra looks pretty similar. Idea, oh my God. Folks, I do own a lot of Idea, by the way, but oh my God, it's getting ready to fly. And it's on KuCoin, and you can stake. I think the staking ends soon. So, but and again, I am technically shilling Idea right now because I own it, and I'm saying it's going to fly. So, not financial advice. Definitely Pokemon cards that have the Idea, word on there. I hate to do that. I did just shill. I'm trying not to do that crap. I really don't want to do that, but I'm not touching that until it's $20. Say that right? Maybe 13, but something to that effect. Or maybe even 50. I don't know. But I think it's going to fly. So anyway, so let's so I'm not going to dump it on you. And I have a whole Patreon community to verify that, so we're good. But I think end of year could be the first time is a good time to sell, but it's whenever it hits this line, okay, is going to likely be your first opportunity 20 bag, because the idea that it's been so volatile, it will likely remain volatile. This consolidation, it doesn't look like consolidation, but if you can take the idea of an oxymoron, right? So for non-English speakers, oxymoron is a phrase of 2 words typically that are exact opposites, like rolling, stop. So stop means you can't be rolling, and rolling means moving. So you're moving and stopping at the same time, right? Rolling, stop, jumbo shrimp. Jumbo means big, shrimp means small. So this is more like a volatile consolidation, right? So 2 opposites, volatile and consolidate mean opposites. And so I think this is its volatile consolidation. And now that it's done, it's going to be volatile again. So that's my basis. Now, could this start behaving more reasonably and not be so volatile, 6,000% or whatever, yeah, possibly, but I don't know. The trend is volatility. So, I mean, hell, even the consolidation was volatile. So that's my 2 cents on there. Yeah. So let's go to Polk. So my dumbass 100 bag Polk, even though I stress to almost everybody, even on YouTube, not just in my community, don't fucking do that during a bull run. But I was confident it wasn't quite altcoin season, particularly for small alts. That's why I felt safe. But you know what? Hey, Tim, if you have basic rules, why don't you follow your own rules? Are you just over here telling like do as I say, not as I do? Well, you know what? In this case, I did. And in the video I made for my patrons, I said, don't be stupid like me. I followed up. Like, don't be like my dumbass and sell all of your, don't try to 100 bag your crypto when you think you have a sell point, particularly in altcoins that move fast, right? So anyway, but I did make up for most of it. So in Polk, if you want to experience my journey, I sold this wick, actually. I actually got the top right. I sold it right in the middle of that wick, and I ended up ultimately buying most of my Polk back, about 32% up. But when I sold this and it went up, I was still able to make up for that. I closed that 32% gap by looking, okay, so I had Tether because I sold all of it, right? So I looked at West, and West, oh, did my trend line move? Oh, son of a gun. Well, okay, I guess I can just move it back real fast. So West has a master trend line down here, and it just so happened right when Polk went up, and I realized, oh no, West just slammed down to it, and I bought it, and I sold it for 30% higher. But I only used half of my Polk money to do that. So I closed half of that gap to get my Polk back. So that's good. That half, I actually didn't lose out on anything. I literally closed the whole gap. The other half, I split into halves from there. So now I have 2 quarters left of that tether from my Polk. I bought one that didn't take off, and then I bought Veracity. And Veracity, by the time Polk was looking like it was going to go again, Veracity had only gone up 16%. But still, with a quarter, I still closed half that gap. So I got back almost all the Polk that I had sold. Even though I bought it at a higher level with the same amount of money, I almost got as much. But in my profits that I've taken from just, honestly, I've been kicking ass in futures day trading. Woo! I've been doing really well. I don't always do that well. Like, I've just been on a roll recently, and my roll will end. But that's why I manage my losses and set stops usually. And I try to set my stops in profit. But not always in profit. Sometimes the plan doesn't go as planned. But anyway, so I closed the gap, right, on this. And honestly, I think it's going to keep going up, folks. So here's what's happening. This line that I have drawn, not the pink line, the orange line, that's the daily 200. It recently came into existence. Didn't exist. Look. Watch, it just started here. I missed this. I missed it. Tim, your analysis is supposed to be the best on YouTube. Well, my analysis fucking sucked. It sucked here. I'm sorry, I missed it. Missed it for my community too, and we're both geeks. We're playing on 100X from down here when we were buying, which I still think it will from that point. Yeah, I think it hit $26. But anyway, so, and from here, it's only about 28X. That's what the importance is, like buying, even though it never made a higher low. Like, so it was tricky to buy there, but I just did. Anyway, it's like I aped in from my community, and honestly, it was a good idea. Because it was down so much. And so another rule of thumb that I didn't break, if something is down 95%, you're fairly safe to buy it unless it's Cardano during a bear market. Then you buy it when it's 98.5% down. Anyway, so I bought it was 95% down. And it was, honestly, my rule of thumb worked, right? But then my dumbass broker rule of thumb sold 100%. Anyway, so this came into existence, but it had a range. And I didn't put it on the daily 200 because I hadn't been using it because I didn't have it. So all that happened was this came into existence. It raced up to it. It proved it as support. The daily 10 is supporting price on top of it. It's not coming back down. It's not gonna hit top of that range. So because of that coming into existence and price racing up to it, it did break. So a lot of times in trading, right, you have 2 different thought processes that give you a statistical edge, both like independently, right? And when they align and both are happening at the same time, you should up your ante on your bet, like on your gamble here, on your strategy, or throw more money at it if like multiple things are aligning, right? The stars are aligning, go bigger. But here, the weekly chart structurally with no EMAs said that you have a defined range. It's flying up from the bottom. On this candle here, price has to close closer to here, just like I call a trias, which ended up working out pretty well. It has to close closer. So that's one idea. But the other idea is the daily 200. If you can find good crypto projects right now under the daily 200, like actually Theta's under it too. I just went long on Theta and I'm big in profit on that. Actually really nicely. But anyway, another rule of thumb is that contrasts the weekly structure. So remember, I just went over the weekly structure. It says it has to come back down. But another one is if you are in a bullish area, right, of a market cycle, which we are technically now. Bitcoin making all-time highs, closing the highest weekly closure. Ethereum flirting with all-time highs. If you find a good crypto that's under its daily 200, then freaking get some. In terms of statistics, so not financial advice, you have a strong statistical edge because it's going to race up to it and probably land on it, right? Or race up to it, get rejected, consolidate under it, wait for the daily 10, and then fly above. But it's not going to keep coming down. Statistical edge wise, it could, right? And honestly, Filecoin is under or right at its daily 200 as well. There aren't a whole lot of cryptos under the daily 200. And so you have 2 opposing ideas that statistically individually give you an edge, but they're saying opposite things. The weekly says it's going to come back down. The daily 200 rule in this part of the market phase says buy that shit. And that one won out. But I missed it. So that's why it's so important. Like, and if you didn't watch my recent Bitcoin video where I have 3 plans, this was not in my plan. I messed up. I missed it. Probably because this came into existence just a freaking few days ago. It was It was a legitimate miss on my analysis. I totally missed it. I'm not apologizing to anybody, but I freaking missed it. Like, I don't know. So I told you, like, my analysis isn't perfect, right? And I screwed it up. But this is the, like, I can't stress, like, so outside of Polk, like in your trading, right? Knowing the 3 most likely scenarios, this is why it's so important. This would have been maybe even my number 1. It would have been my number 2. But if I had known that, my dumbass wouldn't even ever thought of 100 bagging here. Ever. I would have bought more. And I wouldn't have made the gamble just to buy back a tiny bit lower because it raced up from the bottom to the top, which means if it wicks past, you sell and you buy back in the middle. I wouldn't have taken that gamble because the number 2 most probable is it's going to race up higher. That's why it's so important to like have your top 3 most probable, I'm telling you. And I didn't have them right here. Honestly, I failed totally miserably because not just because I sold all of it, but rather because I didn't have my top 3. I didn't even think I tried to make a second and third most probable, and it bit me in the ass. I did make up for it. I closed that gap, so it didn't bite me in the ass too hard. My green screen showing behind my green screen. But it's just a perfect example. So I made 2 mistakes. I didn't have my top 3 most probables independent of missing this. So I didn't even think of top 3. I just did it. I just did my top 1 based off structure because it was a pretty safe trade. But you have to have your top 3, and I didn't do it. And I made the mistake of 100 bagging. So I really screwed that up. But I'm really glad I closed the gap, made a lot of profits within futures. And actually, I have almost double the Polk now, even though I was buying it higher, right? But with the original amount, I technically only bought about I calculate it's like 16% higher. So the original amount of tether that I had here, I technically only lost out on 16%. Not horrible for that big of a mistake. It's a big mistake. I made a double whammy mistake. And those weren't just like it's not like jab mistake. I did Mike Tyson uppercut mistake, fall to the ground, stand up after 4 count, uppercut, like a double uppercut. Like I did, yeah, seriously. So don't do double uppercut mistakes. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's just going to play origin lines. And honestly, guys, I could see this flying up to this origin line here where it got most of, this has a lot of price action here, a lot of important price action. Small pullback. It could fly up to like $3.33 by November. That would be moderately aggressive, but honestly, it's probably gonna start moving. So that's what we got for Polk, but also a lesson within Polk. Like, don't be a dumbass like me and get uppercutted by Mike Tyson twice within 10 seconds. Like Mike Tyson uppercuts, you stay on the freaking floor, right? So back in his prime. Right now, I could probably take him. Actually, no, I probably couldn't. I'm not a trained boxer. Per my Bitcoin video, he'd probably still kick my butt in boxing. If it were a wrestling match, I'd whip his ass. I wrestled for a long time and I was actually a silver medalist in Junior Olympics Taekwondo. So I'm a mixed martial artist, technically, even though my old ass starts hurting when I play old man's slow pitch softball. Anyway, so not to say I'm like some amazing MMA athlete. I haven't done it since I was a kid. It was Junior Olympics. I think I was like 9. It was in Chicago or whatever. In the early 90s, maybe 91, 92. And if you don't believe me, just look up Junior Olympics Taekwondo. In early 90s, it was held in Chicago. It had a big silver medal. I still have it somewhere. But anyway, so that's why I could probably take current Mike Tyson in a normal MMA match, but definitely not in boxing. He would totally destroy me. All right. So, man, this turned a longer, fun video. Hopefully I'm not boring you all. This is like one of my more old school videos. Sorry. So PDEX still in range.
Hey Tim, I have a question.
Okay, what the hell is your question? Stop interrupting my damn video.
Hey, I got a question.
Okay, what?
Is there a daily 200 EMA that just popped up on here into existence and therefore your analysis sucks?
Well, actually, that's a damn good question. Let's take a look. Nope, there isn't. Is there an 89? Yes. Ooh, it's on top. So its biggest EMA, it's actually on top of it and has support. Honestly, this could really go. When it breaks this range, it's probably not just gonna. This probably actually doesn't. So this honestly is a similar special consolidation, kind of like Trias. Once it gets above, it can break that rule of needing to close a week just above first and then scream up on a weekly scale, even though I'm on the daily chart. This could, yeah, this is a candidate for breaking that rule. The biggest daily EMAs are here. It's already on top of it. Tested it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Like, honestly, this looks like a good buy. Like, not financial advice. The market cap is about 63 million. So it's not a tiny cap in terms of, expected ROI at the end of the year. But it looks really good right now. I'm currently not in PDEX anymore. I sold it to buy more Polk. Higher than where I sold it like an idiot, right? But honestly, it looks really, really good. It will probably race up into this box. And I'm not going to give you exact levels here on YouTube, but if you just want to use a chart and look like it's from candle body to wick, but in crypto, when things get heated, things have the habit of racing past it and using that sell target as support. So that's why in 20 bag theory, it's not really that bad to sell 20% of your PDEX here for it to come up way above it, because you can just buy the same amount of Polk. Once it comes back down, it's going to land. Like, if you have a really good target in a flight pass, it's going to come back and hit it almost definitely, right? Remember my veracity stuff and everybody, it's gone up 50, no, and then it went down 63% lower, right? But it would probably hit it. So that's why 20 bag theory works. Like, even when you're wrong, it still works. You get it back, but you're right more than you're wrong. And the times you're right, you get more crypto. Therefore, when the end of bull run parabolic move happens, do you want more crypto when the parabolic move happens, or less, or the same amount of crypto? Do you want the same amount of crypto, or do you want more crypto, right? With other people's money, right? So it could do this. I mean, it could flip to $55 and land on this. It really could. I don't think that's most probable. I think it, or another situation that this could do once it breaks out, it could come up here, wick into it, fail it, recheck this high, come back up, consolidate, then blow past it. So that, honestly, that looks like sexier price movement. More like price likes to move like that more commonly than blowing past and landing on it, but both happen. So these would be, not necessarily exact timing. So don't mathematically say, okay, where did Tim put this on his chart? Okay, that's November 21st. I mean, it's probably not a horrible guess, but these could be moved this way. Like it might be slightly earlier. It might be slightly later. Actually, it might be slightly earlier, slightly later, whatever. But that general movement would be my top 2 most probables: fly past, land on, or come in, wick into it, recheck this previous all-time high, come back up, wait for the daily 10. And then you get a daily 10 EMA squeeze play with a horizontal, which is what what Trias did with a weekly 10 EMA squeezing it above. That's why it's going to be so explosive. It's like, that's still a squeeze play. You can have a horizontal with a strong EMA coming up slowly with price stuck in the middle, and it spots it out. It's like shaking a Coke bottle. And when it passes it, that's opening the bottle, and it, right? That's what squeeze plays are. Maybe I should call them like Coca-Cola plays or something. I was moving that. Okay, so horizontal, strong EMA, price gets stuck in. Once it flies above, that's the Coke bottle. Okay, sorry. I was covering up that idea. So yeah, I mean, where it goes from there, I don't know. But this is these in terms of end of year. So this goes till November. I mean, this can take you till early December. Those are the 2 most likely scenarios for PDEX in terms of what general shape will price take and what behavior will it have. Let me actually delete this one and make it one line. I think it can do something like this. Come up, come here, consolidate, then blast up. And I will move this out just a tiny bit. That might be too aggressive. Something like that. These would be my 2 guesses. Okay. All right, cool. Well, hey, that's the 3. That's your analysis plus the BPRO stuff. So let me know down below what you thought of this video, or just help out the algo. Leave an emoji thumbs up, because it's going to help me continue making videos for you, right? And, not just because you're funny, actually, to both of you, you're a dumbass, no, but for entertainment value, but for educational purposes. If you want me to keep doing this, it's really good. It's truly going to help me continue making videos for you. And also, if you haven't watched my most recent, it's not a Bitcoin video, technically. It says get rich. It's kind of clickbaity thumbnail. Click on it. It's honestly bad at, like, you need to watch that video if you haven't, so stop. So now that you're done with this video, go to my other recent upload with the thumbnail, Get Rich 2021 or whatever, and watch that, and we'll see you sooner than later.